Last week's show, if you don't want it tomorrow, don't speak it today, has elicited a lot of conversation in my inbox, and people are asking me, how do I know that the things that are spoken over my life are not negative? How do I know that the things that are following me today are not out of some of the things that are said about me in the past? How do I know that the patterns that I see repeating myself in my life is not something that I have inherited from the generations that are here before? How can I get out of it? And today, I came to remind you and tell you, you are a prophet of your own destiny. It doesn't matter what people have said about you. It doesn't matter what they have done concerning your life. When you realize that you are royalty, when you realize that the one who called you is faithful, is in a position to deliver you from all these things, then you'll be in a position to start living. Because as my friend always tells me, so many people are living, but few have a life. What are we talking about? We'll get to see this immediately after the introduction. There's this guy called Hosea in the Bible, and he was told by God in chapter 1 of his writing that go and get yourself a wife out of harlotry. Go and get yourself a prostitute as a wife in today's layman language. And go and bear children with this lady. And we'll pick this conversation from Hosea chapter 1 and we'll see what the debate was all about. And from verse 9 it says, "Then God said, call his name Lo-Ami. For you are not my people, and I will not be your God. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured or numbered. It shall come to pass, in the place where it was said to them, you are not my people, then it shall be said to them, you are the sons of the living God." These are two scenarios whereby we have one when this lady, the wife to Hosea called Gomer, when she gave birth, God told her, name this child like this because I am declaring that these are not my people. These are words that were spoken and they were decreed upon the children of Israel. And I came to tell you today, maybe there were things that were declared to others who are before you. And from that pattern keeps trickling down even to you where you are. And you are afraid that even your generations will find yourself and will find themselves in those things that you are seriously loathing about. And I came to tell you there is hope, because even though the Lord had declared and said, these are not my children, these are not my people, he went ahead and he said, the place where it was told these are not my people is the same place that will be called these are the sons of the living God. The place where it was spoken that you will never prosper, that is the same place that you need to go and declare, I am going to prosper. The same place where it was said you will never amount to something, that is the same place where you need to go and say, I will be whoever God has called me to be. And in your life, you may not go to the specific location. Get me right. I'm not saying that you go 100 years back and get to know what was the problem. No. All I'm saying is the name that was declared, that this name, people who are named after this name will never prosper, that is the same name that you need to stand and declare that William Waithaka is going to prosper. William Waithaka is going to excel. William Waithaka is going to be elevated. You need to stand firm and declare these things, because when you believe in your heart and confess with your mouth, remember we said last time that we are created in the image and in the likeness of God, meaning that you can do exactly what God does. And you know what God does? He creates. And how does he create? Through his words. You need to prophesy. You need to be a prophet of your own destiny. Don't let other people ruin your life when you have the ability and the authority to declare the things that you want to happen in your life. Don't settle for less. There is so much for you on the outside, but you don't win the war from the outside. You don't win this war by listening and hearing what people are saying. No, you win this battle from within. You need to conquer your fears. You need to conquer those words that are spoken against you. You need to conquer those patterns that keep repeating themselves through the generations that were before you, and now you can see this pattern repeating themselves in your life. You need to stand firm and say, I declare, I decree that I will be the person who God has called me to be. I will fulfill my purpose here on earth. I will become whatever God intended for me to become. And when you do that, when you confess all these things, I assure you, you'll be in the highway of becoming who God has called you to be. And at the end of it all, it doesn't matter what people say about you. All that matters is, did I become who God has called me to be? One Miles Monroe said that the richest place in this world is the graveyard, because that is where businesses were never started, visions were never came to see the light. That is where some of the biggest, the largest books were never written, and yet you are there still confessing and declaring, I can't get out of it. I am stuck. No, you're not stuck. You need to change the way you think, because as you think, so will you be. It doesn't matter who is against you, but when you know who is for you, then you'll amount to be the conqueror who God has called you to be. Don't settle for less. Don't allow what the enemy is speaking get into your head and disrupt what God has called you to become and to be. You have been called to reach out to nations. You've been called to impact the world. Don't allow whatever people are saying about you interrupt you and distract you from what God has called you to be. This is the Faith Crusaders, where we are all about revealing Christ-like attitudes of awakening. God bless you, and see you in our next show.